Big game in the Premier League. Spurs taking on Chelsea. Chelsea with back-to-back losses and no wins in their last 5 games in all competitions. Current Chelsea manager Graham Potter has criticised former manager Thomas Tuchel about the pre-season, saying there was a suboptimal pre-season, and speaking to a few of the experienced guys, they thought it was the worst pre-season they've had for different reasons.
What's a suboptimal pre-season?
Yeah.
Not the best.
Suboptimal pre-season.
Well, at least he's taking the mask off, isn't he? He's got the mask off.
I don't like that.
You don't.
Well, at the end of the day, Tuchel's gone, and what's left, and Todd Burley signing players, or the consortium are signing players, and at the end of the day, it's his responsibility now to get results. I'm not sure it's time for the blame game about what happened in pre-season, to be quite honest with you.
Stevie's laughing because you said that you wanted to see a little bit more fight from him. Are you happier to see this from Graham Potter, Steve?
Yes and no.
Okay.
No, because you don't say that. You just don't do that. Whenever you go into a job, you don't criticise the guy that was there before you. You just don't. It's just not the right thing to do. But as I said, he's whipped the mask off and he's having a go. I mean, I did say it's about time he fought back. So I'm split. You don't do that, but at least he's having a go.
Craig doesn't like it. Stevie's split. Where do you stand on it, Stewart?
I don't like it. And the thing that sort of isn't great is that half the players that are there now weren't in that pre-season because they're all new players. So that wasn't Thomas Tuchel's fault. I think there was a problem with the pre-season anyway for all clubs because they didn't have that much time to prepare for the season. It all came a bit quick because of the World Cup. But it's the wrong thing to do. You never criticise the previous manager because the players that like the previous manager are now going to not like you particularly. They'll lose their respect for you. He's got to get on with it. He's got to make some big decisions. He's got to make some big decisions over what he thinks his best team is, what style of football he wants. And if he keeps with a system and a style of football and keeps the same team most weeks, he might get some consistency. They might get some results. But at the moment, it doesn't look like they are.
I think you could say that. And Tuchel touched on this in some sense. Bruce Buck left, Granit Xhaka left, Petr Cech left. So there was a big bridge between management and ownership. And I think it was, for sure, taking up more of Tuchel's time than he wanted to spend on the training field. So I think in some sense it was not an ideal summer for them because, as I said, he was having to do all these other jobs that previously 2 or 3 people were doing. But as Rob was said, there's a lot of new faces here, and it wasn't, it's not pre-season that means basically they couldn't hit a barn door from 12 yards out, and that's the problem. Some of their build-up play has been okay. If you look at the Dortmund game, played really well, just really, really poor in front of goal. It's not a fitness issue. That's just a quality issue, and they've got a big one at the weekend, and another defeat, another poor result. It's just going to pile the pressure straight back at him. Nobody's interested now about Thomas Tuchel. They want to know what can Potter bring.
So what does the draw mean then?
I think I've gone for a draw because I just can't trust any of them. But a draw just means it just rolls on. That sort of mediocrity just rolls on.
You've got Spurs winning it, Stevie.
Yeah, because I've got Chelsea scoring, right? But the truth is, are they going to score more than one? I don't think they've scored more than one goal, and I think I saw a stat recently. They haven't scored 2 goals in one game for about, well, I don't know, last century. Something silly. I just don't see them winning. I don't see them keeping a clean sheet. And they might score, but they're not going to score 2 or 3 because they don't and they can't, and they don't have anybody to do it. So you can't think they'll win the game away from home at Tottenham in such a big game, where Tottenham are going to break on them for fun. I just don't see how they...
They'll outplay Tottenham because, Tottenham were... You look at their recent form, they beat West Ham, but West Ham have been poor. And they were so passive. They lost in Milan, and Milan, although it was a tight game, Milan have been horrendous, as you know, in Serie A. And they got hammered at Leicester. So it's... Neither of the 2 sides fill you full of joy. I think Chelsea will get an opportunity to go and express themselves and play because that's what Tottenham allow you to do. It's whether then A, they can take advantage of their possession and their pace and the chances that they should create? And B, can they cope with the counter-attack that Stevie's talking about? I think it's a 50-50 call. There's neither of these sides would instill confidence in you.
It seems that that's the way for you as well, Stewart Robson. You've gone for a draw too. If Chelsea are to lose this game, even though the club, we keep hearing that Graham Potter's going to be there till the end of this season, will this spell trouble for him?
Of course it will, because whatever the board says, whatever the chairman says, whatever the president, whoever's actually trying to run the club, whatever they say, if you keep losing games, eventually the crowd will start to make big noises. They will start to boo the team. They will start to boo the manager. And, you know, as soon as that happens, the chairman doesn't like the pressure, the president doesn't like the pressure, whoever's in charge, and then they sack the manager. We've seen it time and time again. They can say as much as they like, we're backing the manager. If the crowd get on to Potter and the team, eventually he will go.
I think it's the manner in which results might come or may not come. And by that I mean, I think he could roll out a couple of more defeats here and there if it was tight and there was progress. But I think if there's any batterings in the offing, which I don't think will happen, but say Tottenham were to roll them over by 3, 4 or more, then I think that could be difficult for them. And you know, they haven't looked like getting battered,
no,
but
they don't. Every time I think of Chelsea, I think of the Dortmund game. I think of the Dortmund game where when the final whistle goes, I'm thinking, how did Chelsea do? How did that happen?
It was more positive.
Absolutely,
played well.
But they do play well. They do pass the ball well. But they just can't put the ball back in the net. So how do you win games when you can't score? It doesn't happen.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.